You must construct additional pylons for the Nerdthusiast Podcast. I am your co-host, Richard Eiley, here with my co-host, Matthew Morosi.
What's up, B?
Okay, this week, Matt and I discuss my adventures in the jolly old, bubonic plague-infested France with a Plague Tale Innocence. Then we'll go over Fortnite's black hole, whatever the heck Sony thinks it's doing, to hype us up for the PS5, and Analogue announces its most ambitious console yet. Finally, we'll finish things off with rediscovering retro as the two of us recount our time with Shinobi 3 for the Sega Genesis. Matt, I'm not happy with that intro. I'm going to keep it. I don't know. I'm going to keep it in there. I'm going to let it be.
Just let her in there for a little while.
Yeah, it's fine. We're going to go. We're going to keep going.
Just got to stay in there for a little bit.
But how are you doing, Matt? How's this? All right, dude. Already?
I'm a child.
Already with the innuendo? Control yourself, please. I beg of you. Yeah, we're here, Matt. We're here. New episode of Nerdthusiast Podcast. How you feeling?
I'm feeling dandy today, man.
Dude, I'm feeling pretty good, too. I'm feeling pretty good. And you know what we have to do before we can do anything? We got a lot to talk about today, a whole lot. But we have to play our beautiful, lovely game, So You Think You're Gen X. Matt, do you remember this game? It's been 2 weeks.
Richard, I'm ready to win today.
You're gonna win?
I'm tired of mediocrity.
I'm tired of you losing. Current score right now, you have 2 half points and 1/4 point.
So I have 1 whole point.
No.
And a 1/4 point.
I don't want to have
1.25.
I don't want to have to go over this with you every week. You have 2 half points and a 1/4 point. They don't combine to make full points. You have to get a full point to get a full point.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. You're going to try and logic it, but this isn't logic.
If I had 2 beers that are half full,
yeah,
and I put them together, not only do I have a whole beer,
yeah,
I have the same alcohol content as that whole beer.
That's true.
Therefore,
there is no container for points, so you can't put a point on top of another point. They don't mix the half points.
I might build a point container.
No, it's not going to. Okay. If you can do that, then we have to play this game. Okay. All right. So, name of the game, Matt thinks he's Gen X. I think he's not. I read off song lyrics from Gen X periods of time, and Matt tries to guess the name of the band and the song that is being sung. Are you ready, Matt?
Yes.
All right, here we go. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. A mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido. Okay, Nirvana. Do you know what song that is?
I need to keep going. Just wait. Give me a second.
Okay. You have one. You have to get it right with the name guess. You can't just throw a bunch out. So, next line is yeah, hey. I'm worse at what I do best, and for this gift, I feel blessed. Our little group has always been and always will until the end. I don't want to give you the next line.
Just give me don't give me any lines. Let me just go into my brain zone.
Yeah, so take your time.
I have.
Take your time. Go into your brain zone. I can repeat lines if you need.
I can hear the music.
Oh, Matt, I need you to get.
I feel it's not like the song that I want to say that it is, because it's way too obvious.
Matt is looking.
Is it Smells Like Teen Spirit?
You got it.
I just felt that it was way too obvious. I mean, that was my initial reaction, but I was like second guessing the shit out of myself.
If you fucked it up again, I was going to be so that you got a full point. You did it. I'm really proud of you. That's your first
2 points. 2.25.
No.
2.25.
No.
Mark it.
You have 1 point, 2 half points, and 1/4 point. That is your score officially. Matt, I don't want to.
You mark it at 2.25.
Don't fucking Big Lebowski me, buddy.
You mark it at 2.25.
All right, I'm putting the number down. We'll discuss this later. Because right now we have to talk about what we've been playing / watching.
You'll be in a world of pain.
Smokey. Matt, what have you been playing and watching?
I have finished Gears 5.
You did it.
Finally.
You fucking did it.
I did.
I'm really proud of you.
It was very annoying playing on a single player, like I mentioned in the past. The AI sucks. There was a patch released today, so I think that might have made some improvements to the AI. I was just in the very last boss battle.
Because they kept dying like idiots last week or the past couple weeks.
They actually helped me a little bit after the patch. Okay. So I think, I'm not sure, I didn't read the patch notes, but I think they improved it a little bit. My feelings are exactly the same. It's one of the best Gears games, period.
Okay.
The ending could have came a little bit quicker. I feel like they dragged out the ending a little bit.
You said you felt like there was like you kept thinking you were at the final boss, and then they added more and more, and it kept going.
Probably like 3 times I thought I ended the game.
Okay, so
it's until the last time.
It's not the best paced game.
I mean, it's fine until the end. It just feels weird. Yeah. Like it feels like they shoved in all these like bigger fights and like
set
they weren't
pieces.
like set pieces, and like they made like harder challenges. They were all in one shot.
Uncharted 3 had a lot of similar issues.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, just big shooting galleries and set pieces that made no sense, no cohesive connection to like the whole narrative. Yeah,
but still a good game. And I saw Joker last night.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You didn't tell me you were going to watch Joker.
I'm sorry.
We could have had a full-on discussion.
We could have. I thought by now you would have seen it, though. Honestly, that was like
I had some opportunities. I just didn't. I didn't.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, mistakes were made. But what'd you think?
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was fantastic. I'm not too big into superhero movies. I have nothing against them.
Yeah.
I'm not like for them. I just don't care, honestly.
Yeah.
But this got my interest piqued because it was, about him, about Joker becoming Joker, losing his mind and shit. And like,
It's more a character piece than about superheroes and all that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
It seems like, I can't speak to it because I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like it takes the Heath Ledger kind of character piece of Joker and then like makes a whole movie around that. Not to say it's the same kind of Joker, but like taking that like more grounded Joker.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So is it worth watching? Should I go watch it?
100%.
Yeah.
I think that Joaquin Phoenix, almost said River Phoenix, Jesus Christ.
He's dead.
Yeah, I forgot.
And Keanu is very sad.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix should get an Oscar for this performance.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's 2 Joker Oscars then.
He should have gotten an Oscar for Johnny Cash, which was a goddamn... an embarrassment that he didn't get an Oscar.
Does he
for
not have one
Johnny
at all?
Cash. I don't think so.
Then he needs one. So give it to him.
I know it's like a Joker movie, and people can like, I'm sure the Academy's gonna look at that as like, oh,
but it's not connected.
It's really a film.
Yeah,
it is. It is legit. Like
the cinematography looks amazing in it, and
there's not a lot of action, so don't expect that. It's really about his story, and like it makes you feel empathetic towards him.
Hell yeah.
I thought it was excellent. I would definitely recommend everybody go see that movie.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
Best DC movie I've ever seen, but I guess that's not
like with them saying it's it's not. It's
since like '89 Batman. Best.
And then you were saying like it's not connected to it shouldn't be seen as a superhero movie because
no, it shouldn't.
It's really not because it's not even connected to the DCEU. It's not even like part of like the big Marvel DC bonanza.
He's not fighting Batman in this. He's not there's nothing like
so treat it as its own thing.
Yeah, it's very very awesome.
That's cool. Matt, I have been playing. I went back. I wanted some spooky games because it's October right now. I went back to A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Heard that was excellent.
Do you know about this game? Do you know?
I do know about it. Highly interested. Just never get around to it.
You see, it's done by a Sobo studio, French studio, who doesn't have a crazy amount of video games under the belt that they've developed, and the things that they do have are like Recore and Toy Story 3.
That's surprising because I heard nothing but very good things about this game.
Yeah, exactly. No, it really seems like because before they were doing a lot of licensed games too, like Toy Story 3 and WALL-E, and I think there's some other Disney properties that they like have worked on. But this is truly feels like it's their own sort of thing, like that they wanted to do. It seems very creatively inspired. It's about France. It takes place in France during like the bubonic plague times. It's about this this girl whose mom is an alchemist, like a famous alchemist, and her brother's sick, and you have to like take care of her brother and like go on this journey together. The gameplay like loop and the way that this narrative progresses is very Last of Us, which I really like. It's almost like a low budget Last of Us.
How are the controls? They feel good?
It's serviceable. It's not like gonna blow your mind or anything.
It's good enough.
It's good enough, and the game doesn't ask you or require of you very skillful movements to like progress through the game.
That's good. I mean, that's always my most important thing is like the controls are crap. I probably just probably pass.
They're not like amazing, but they're exactly where they need to be to get through the game and enjoy it and have an enjoyable experience.
Nice.
So that's pretty great. But it did make me think about like Last of Us and Last of Us 2 specifically, because this is a game that very much takes a lot of DNA from Last of Us in terms of like how you're going through things chapter by chapter, and it's very narrative focused on these characters and the development of these characters. But the setting of it is just so cool and different. It's like, bubonic plague France. Like,
that sounds awesome.
There's rats everywhere. You have to like, there's a whole mechanic with like, you have to keep light on you to keep rats away at all times. There's like puzzles related to like, torches in the distance that you have to like light from a distance and then use light to get to that torch to move on to the next thing. So there's a lot of stuff like just feels, really different and unique to it. And, what if Last of Us 2, we didn't get that, and we saw Naughty Dog just do a completely different setting with like the money they have? Could be cool.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I might check it out at some point.
You should. I'm liking it a lot. I'm like a little more than halfway through. I can't wait to finish it. Just need some more time.
Yeah, isn't that the problem?
It's always the problem.
It is.
Always is. All right, Matt. That settles that. We're gonna move into some headlines. Are you ready?
Boom.
Boom. Shakalaka.
Shakalaka.
All right. What do we got first, Matt?
He's on fire.
That's not even related to.
No, it has nothing to do with this.
Yeah. Get NBA Jam out of your head, listeners.
Well, they did make an NBA Jam for the Game Boy.
Hey, Game Boy. Speaking of, tell me more.
Well, and definitely Game Gear. Maybe Game Boy too.
I don't remember. Both of those relate to our headline story.
Yep. So Analogue is a company that I love. I've been buying their products for a little while now. I have a Super NT. Mm-hmm. I have a Mega SG. And what those consoles do, what Analogue does, is they make FPGA, which is field programmable gate array systems, and it's a way that these systems can play traditional cartridges the way they were intended to be played, but on modern like TVs, on modern displays. So they basically bring all their games up to like 1080p, and you're not using emulation, you're using the actual cartridge. It's reading from the ROMs.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all, but it is awesome.
It's the best. It's the best way to play those games.
It's the most one-to-one. I don't want to say emulation because it's not emulation, but it's the most one-to-one experience that you can have with that game on like modern TVs and modern like displays and stuff.
Yeah. So this year they kept their tradition.
Yes.
October 16th, for whatever reason.
Do they always announce a new hardware?
Is when they announce something new.
Oh, so you knew something was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Okay.
I was anticipating it. And today they announced that they are doing the Analogue Pocket.
What is this?
So a couple of things to know about the Pocket first. Mm-hmm. This is the minor things. We'll start at the minor things.
Okay.
Uses FPGA technology.
Okay, so more of that beautiful goodness.
But it has two different FPGA,
okay.
I guess they're cores or something inside of it. The reason they have two is for developers. Interesting. What does that mean?
I don't know. What does it mean, Matt?
From my understanding, it most likely means that people can develop their own games for it.
Okay,
possibly
that's what you're telling me before
port
the
their
podcast.
own games to it, which is rad.
That's exciting. Yeah, so and a lot of people do that. I've seen Game Boy Maker streams and stuff of people making Game Boy games, and they can like port them to like actual cartridges and play them on Game Boy. So like games like that will work on the Pocket. So that sounds awesome.
So that's one of the minor details. Another minor detail that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's for making music. Pocket has a digital audio workstation built in called Nanoloop.
Yeah.
It's a synthesizer and a sequencer designed for music creation and live performances. Shape, sketch, and morph sounds. Capture music or play and sculpt it live. Music.
You can do music on it too. But what is this thing, Matt? Usually
so let's
games.
Get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, let's talk about like what it.
Let's get in the dirt and roll around a little bit.
All right, dude. Let's do it. I'm ready.
This is a multi-video game portable handheld system. Mm. It is also a digital audio workstation with a built-in synthesizer and sequencer. Oh, this is all stuff I just read.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, Matt, I would say it's a Pocket. It's an Analogue's version of the Game Boy, right?
Not only does it play Game Boy games,
yeah.
Richard, it'll play Game Boy Color games.
Okay.
Game Boy Advance games.
Oh my gosh.
Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Yes.
Game Gear. And that good old Lynx.
So Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, as far as I can tell, does not need like any special adapter. If you get the Pocket, the Analogue Pocket, you can just play those games right off the bat, which is insane. That's an incredible library that you're getting on this freaking awesome system. And then I think with an adapter, you can do like the Neo Geo and the Game Gear and the Lynx and stuff.
Yeah, it says Pocket works with cartridge adapters for other handheld systems too, like Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color, and Atari Lynx. So if you want to play those, you're going to need the adapter.
For sure.
Not really clear if the adapter comes with it, but I'm assuming it does. Mm-hmm. When I bought my Mega SG, I have an adapter in there to play Master System games.
Yeah.
So they kind of have a history already of giving you the adapter and not charging you an arm and a leg for like the additional adapter.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of cool.
So I think they'll probably give it with you, but don't hold that to me. I have no idea
sure.
at this
That'd
point.
be awesome if they did, though.
Some quick details. The Pocket is designed around a first-in-class 3.5 615 PPI LCD with a 1600 by 1440 resolution. What does that mean?
Sounds fancy.
The Pocket has 10 times the resolution of an original Game Boy.
That's insane.
Big old sexy screen.
Well, can I how can I take advantage of this? Can I connect it to the TV or anything like that, Matt?
There's the dock. Introducing the Analogue dock, also announced today. Play your pocket on the big screen.
Are we sponsored by Analogue, Matt?
It feels like it.
It feels a little bit like it. We like it a lot.
This thing's freaking dope,
It's awesome.
though, man.
It's really awesome looking.
You can put your pocket into the dock, and it outputs directly to your HD TV. Sync up any wireless 8-bit DOE Bluetooth controller directly to the dock for wireless play. You can also connect controllers directly via wired USB 2.
Wait, so you can do like Bluetooth? So you can do like whatchamacallit? Like PS4 controllers? Any Bluetooth instead?
It says 8-bit DOE Bluetooth. 8-bit DOE's a company. They make their own like controller. I have a couple of their controllers.
Oh, got it. I think you've shown me a few.
I think it's only going to work with those for now.
Okay,
Perhaps
cool.
they'll do something in the future.
Cool.
Or you can do a wired USB controller.
This thing is awesome. Like the idea of playing these Game Boy games at 1080p on your TV and stuff at like that ridiculous resolution is kind of unheard of, right? Like if you get a Game Boy player for your like GameCube, but you're only going to play it at like, standard definition. You can buy some of these Game Boy games on the virtual console for like 3DS. Obviously you can only play that on your 3DS at like that crappy resolution. Like I don't know. This is super exciting. Like the idea of playing Minish Cap at 1080p on my TV sounds amazing. Like there's so many things that you can do.
Well, let's put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
One of the stats they had posted on there, this is not including Game Gear, not including Neo Geo Pocket, not including the Atari Lynx. There's over 2,780 Game Boy games that'll play. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance.
Okay, yeah.
So just those systems, there's almost 3,000 games for.
Jeez.
Which is bananas.
Yeah. And I don't know, that, for me, the Game Boy, like handhelds were a huge part of my childhood growing up. I know I have a few hidden away somewhere that I can like bust out, but I don't know, this like the idea of like collecting some Game Boy games and putting them on here just sounds like a lot of fun. Playing some old Pokemons like Emerald and Fire Red and stuff like that could be really cool too. Dude, like
Charizard.
Every time I mention Pokemon, you really know your Pokemon stuff. And then like to further the discussion, like this is Analogue really cementing themselves as like this producer of 1080p retro consoles.
I mean, basically they're establishing themselves as if you want to play retro games today, the
On the
best
cartridge,
way you possibly can through like the actual means through the cartridges. There's no better option than this. Their Mega SG is better than a Genesis. It reads it the same way, so you're not losing anything. Their systems do that consecutively. Like you get the console and it plays it better than the original.
It's nuts. It's so cool.
HDMI to a TV too. Oh, and this has a rechargeable battery pack. USB-C charging, so you can charge it up and keep it on the go. No more batteries.
And beautiful backlight on that. It's like a regular. Yeah. No, dude. I'm excited. This is probably gonna be the first one that I actually do pick up, just because there's so many. Game Boy Advance is a huge one for me. Like Advance Wars. There's so many cool little things. So.
And for those interested in like modding and hacking and stuff, there's a micro SD card slot just for you guys.
There you go. If you want to put some games on there.
I'm not saying you should.
If you want to put some games on there, I don't know what kind of games. Yeah. Definitely not licensed games. We would never recommend that.
No.
But it's cool. I'm excited.
Last thing to note on this.
Yes.
Comes out in 2020. No official release date yet. Last console they put out was in spring. Price $199.
I think that's pretty good.
I think it's very reasonable.
Yeah. The thing that you'll run into, though, I think that's going to be an issue, is if you pick this thing up and you don't have any Game Boy games or Game Boy Advance or any collection or whatever, you're going to have a hard time buying those games because some of them are pretty expensive. And finding them might be a pain.
Rusty.
That was bless you.
I'm sorry.
All right. So what do we have here next? Anything else you want to say on the Pocket?
No, I think it's the fact that it hooks up to a TV gets me interested. I do have some handheld consoles, but it's not my favorite way to play. So the fact that there's a dock makes me want to get this.
Yeah. You can play a lot of things that you missed out on. Freaking Metal Gear for Game Boy Color. Man, I'm gonna have to pick this thing up hard.
Yeah, you are.
All right. When's it coming out?
2020.
Cool. Okay, just
2020.
Okay, cool.
My guess is spring.
All right, Matt, we got to talk about Blizzard next.
Blizzballs.
Blizzard's been having a rough week, wouldn't you say, Matt?
Making good choices after good choices.
Yeah, so there's you got anyone listening probably has heard a ton about this topic already regarding the Hong Kong protester Blizz Chung, who was featured. He won a Hearthstone tournament, official Hearthstone tournament through like their esports circuit, and they interviewed him, a post game interview. They had a post game interview with him to talk about his excitement about winning, and he said a revolution for Hong Kong, free Hong Kong. And Blizzard's response to this was banning him and like taking his prize money. I'm sure you guys are aware of it. What I want to do is kind of go into Blizzard and the issues they've been dealing with via their PR for like the last year. Like,
sure.
Because if you look at them from like 2016, like they were really riding high. I think they had Overwatch, like that had just come out. That was big, dude. Overwatch was huge. It was like to me, it almost like was the Fortnite of that time, or the Call of Duty of that time. Like it was the biggest multiplayer game that anyone wanted to play. So they had that going. I think Hearthstone was still pretty lively. Warcraft Legion, that was, I think, received very well. I don't play it personally, but like I know it continued like the Burning Crusade storyline. People were excited about that. Diablo 3, I think, was rebounding as well. Everything seemed pretty great in like 2016-ish. But after 2016, like they just stopped releasing games. Like they kept updating Overwatch. They kept updating Hearthstone, WoW, obviously. They released WoW Classic. But no like big new IPs came out for like a while. And then BlizzCon 2018 is when, they announced Diablo Immortal as like the new game that they were going to put out. Mobile only game, not available for PC. New Diablo that PC players, this long storied group of people that have always played Blizzard games. All of Blizzard's games have always been on PC. All of a sudden, a new game finally comes out after like 2 years or 3 years, not even coming to PC. So that happened. Then February of this year, Activision Blizzard fired like 800 employees from the company. They got some backlash for that. Whether or not it was the right decision, I don't know. It's a business related thing. I'm not going to judge. But then most recently, this happened with Blizz Chung. And in terms of like what I want to talk about regarding it,
and they canceled that Nintendo event.
Oh, and they canceled for Overwatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did they explain why they?
No,
did
of course, because they don't want people. They don't want.
They're trying to back off a
publicity.
little bit. Yeah, absolutely. To finish off the Blitzchung stuff, J. Allen Brack, the president of Blizzard, released a statement talking about how they're going to return the prize money to Blitzchung, but he is banned or suspended for 6 months. The shoutcasters that were previously fired were also suspended. They said that the reason they did this is there is a consequence for taking the conversation away from the purpose of the event and disrupting or derailing the podcast. With regards to the casters, remember their purpose is to keep the event focused on the tournament. That didn't happen here, and we are setting their suspension to 6 months as well. He also wanted to make clear that the specific views expressed by Blitzchung were not a factor in the decision we made. I want to be clear, our relationship with China had no influence on our decision.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, first off, we can talk about that. Like, we don't believe this BS line about the China having nothing.
Fuck no.
Tencent owns how much of Activision Blizzard?
Listen, if they didn't give a fuck about the money, they wouldn't have fucking cared to begin with. Mm-hmm. Who cares?
Yeah, they would. And the thing is, like, this happens all the time in like any sports, right? Like, or any like Oscars, whatever it is, like any like thing where you celebrate a member of like the creative team of something, or your tournament players. Like they'll always speak out. They won't always speak out, but it's often
it gives them a chance to.
It gives them, and some people decide to use their platform. So like to try and like ban someone or like suspend them or like punish them for speaking out, it's just kind of silly.
Yeah, I mean, this was a delicate situation for them to tiptoe around because they don't want to piss off China. They don't want to get miss out on that money. But them making like a hollow statement like this just. If you're going to make a hollow statement like that, just don't make one at all. Just shut up.
Just shut up. Give him his money. Right. And move on.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to be like, reversing course on this because there's so much money to be had in China. All these corporations are going to keep bending to them in the same disgusting ways they will over and over again. The corporations are designed to make money. Yeah. They don't care about anything else. There is no, area of corporations that care about people. They don't care about people. Yeah. They would step on your balls to get $1. They don't care.
I mean, but you have places like Epic who are saying like, hey, just so everyone's aware, like, you're free to speak whatever like you want to speak here. But also
they're also in a different situation.
Tencent, I think, doesn't own as much of their like market share, I believe.
Well, not only that, they're making how much money? Like, I mean, it really, it really doesn't matter to them. They're making so much money, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and Blizzard apparently, Activision Blizzard has been flatlining since they don't have that Bungie income anymore. So maybe this is just them reacting in the way they're reacting because they have like no choice because they need that China market. They become reliant on it.
I think that's part of it, but I think it's just corporations in America, period, are going to continue to do this. It's going to continue to be disgusting. Yeah. If you're an American corporation, you should have American values. Period. End of statement.
Whoa. Matt, getting patriotic right now.
I'm not patriotic. Fuck them. That's what I'm patriotic about.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck you. Like, I don't like feeling walked upon or whatever. You're gonna make what I'm viewing. We have a freedom of speech here. So what I'm viewing, what I'm exposed to in my own free fucking country, China's gonna have some say over that. Get fucked, China.
Do you think?
Get fucked.
Do you think that like if this wasn't a tournament, because I think the tournament was set,
we're never gonna play in China, just so you know.
Yeah, that's
this
fine.
is never gonna air there.
I'm okay with that. I don't think they're.
No one cares.
But I think I'm wondering if this tournament was like in America specifically, because I'm pretty sure it was in Thailand, the tournament itself. So I'm wondering if this was in Western territories. If someone said, fuck China and support Hong Kong, like if there would have been.
Let me be clear, I'm not talking about Chinese people before somebody jumps
in.
I know the Chinese government,
the government
can get
exactly
fucked.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. But yeah, I wonder if this would have gone a different way if it took place, if it was like a Western Hearthstone tournament and someone did the same exact thing. I'm wondering if just because it was going to Asian. No, you think Activision Blizzard would have done the same thing if like someone,
I think if there's money involved, that's all that matters.
Okay.
Period. End of statement. If it was in Ethiopia and they said something about Rise Up Ethiopia, do you think they would say anything? Are they getting money from me? They wouldn't have gave two shits.
For sure. Yeah. And if someone did the same thing about like American politics or, pooped on Trump or something.
Right, because we have freedom of speech here. No one's going to care.
Yeah, and that's where that whole line...
and if they did get upset about it, it would have been a slap on the wrist. Not we're taking your
money, you're banned.
Right.
Yeah, and then they have to walk it back only because of the backlash. All right, so the last thing I think I want to ask you then, like, do we think because of this, because there has been a ton of backlash, not just because of this, but because of the things that have been happening with Blizzard over the past year and maybe even further, BlizzCon is coming up, I think, next month. Are people going to care about what Blizzard shows? Like, are people just tired of this company and, like, they're just going to back off? Like, where do you think we're at this moment?
I think the way the internet is, people are, the very vocal people on the internet are a minority of people. I think the majority of people just want to live their life day to day and really don't care.
Okay.
I think this isn't going to really affect
casual audience.
Yeah, there's not going to be huge casualties to Blizzard. They're not going to see a big thing at their bottom line. And if you got bean counters at the top that says the small fraction of people that are going to rebel against the company does not even come close to how much money China's pouring in, China will win every time.
I think there's a casual audience that just doesn't even like this. None of this registered at all.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That
definitely. Just
love Diablo and they're not even thinking, they're waiting for Diablo 4 and whenever that like launches, they're going to be down for it.
I think there'll be a small group of protesters at BlizzCon, but I think most people just aren't going to care. It's going to hit the news headlines because like all the media is going to want to talk about it. But it's really, I think it's messed up. I think it's disgusting. But the way I see society in America is, almost like broken. Nobody's standing up to do anything about real things that happen. For example, when
What?
Obama wasn't allowed to make his pick. I don't care what you say politically or whatever. He should have been allowed to make his pick for the Supreme Court.
Back
I thought for sure America would have riots over that, and there was nothing.
No, it happens.
So do you really think they're going to care about a company making money in China?
For sure. Yeah, as a whole? No.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen.
I don't. Which is, I don't know if it's unfortunate, but I don't know. What I was thinking, maybe hopefully what this does is it like pushes Blizzard to like really kick ass at BlizzCon and like put something like really cool out, but I just doubt it. I don't know. Anyways, Matt, you ready to move on?
Give me that hole.
All right, next topic of discussion. Next headline. It's a black hole, yeah. Fortnite. We're talking about Fortnite.
Get us in that big old black hole,
They
Richard.
shut down Fortnite for Chapter 2, leading up to Chapter 2. Some bullet points here. Epic Games held a days-long event building up to the 11th season of Fortnite. All throughout Season 10, a rocket had been being built on the map, and to close off the Season 10 specifically, it launched into the air, fired into the ground in a server-wide event that ended with the entire game being sucked into the black hole. So yeah, Fortnite was a black hole for like what, 1.5 days, something like that.
It was very short.
It was short. Not everyone, but some people were speculating like, oh, it's the end of Fortnite, they're going to move on to something else.
Yeah, sure.
Which is ridiculous because that thing makes so much freaking money. Turns out that was more or less just server maintenance for the next season.
Yeah.
But brilliant, the most brilliant display of server maintenance I've ever seen in my life. Because when Fortnite came back, that's when Fortnite Chapter 2 launched. I did some finger quotes there. Chapter 2 launched, and that was a proper start of the new season. Chapter 2 is actually pretty awesome, though. Like, there's a lot of stuff they added to Fortnite.
It got people excited again.
It got people really excited. I think, like, Fortnite has been in a relative lull, because it's still, like, on top, more or less. But compared to, like, its previous highs, it's definitely kind of, like, petered out a little bit. I think this did a great job getting people back in. The new features are a completely new map. There's fishing now for like loot and health consumables. There's swimming. There's boats. They have a gun that shoots bandages and lets you like shoot your friends so that you can heal them. You can pick up your friends like when they're downed. You can hide in haystacks and like dumpsters. So there's like more hiding opportunities.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there's
getting
some
them haystacks.
I don't know if you can like jump off buildings and an eagle calls your name as you do it, but that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
But yeah, effectively what we saw was server maintenance blown up to this ridiculous event. And I think they did a great job. This morning I checked Twitch and they were like number 1. So I think that, they took over League of Legends again, which is nice. Why do you think Epic's able to do this so well? Like, how are they just able to just nail it? Is it just the most brilliant marketing team ever? Or?
I don't know if it's necessarily the most brilliant. It was definitely a very calculated and smart move.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Just let's just turn. No one's going to suspect that we're making so much money every goddamn day.
Yeah.
That we'll shut the game off for 24 to 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to suspect that. It'll build up, and if it worked like a charm.
You were saying if they close it down like a week, how cool that would.
Oh, I thought, dude, if they close it down for a whole week, I think they would really, really own like a chunk of time. Like that would be like something even more special because a day is like, whatever, okay, yeah, you were cute for a day.
Exactly.
No
way it's gonna last longer. Yeah, all the headlines were like
all of it back.
All the headlines
tenfold.
were like, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back within a day or two, and it did. Yeah, I think every day would have been like more like, whoa, Fortnite's still not back. What the fuck?
Right, and they could have dropped like a little hint like each day or something, and like got the hype built up even more. Like if
they did like some numbers thing.
If I was in a meeting and somebody brought this up and I'm like, great idea, we'd do it for a week instead of a day.
So the issue I had with that, I mentioned it off the podcast, is just I think the update wasn't big. It was pretty big. It's a pretty big update. It's a lot of major changes, but I don't think it's like as huge as it needed to be to fulfill like a week-long wait of no Fortnite.
I get that. That makes sense.
But in that token, again, like brilliant. Like they did the perfect amount of like not Fortnite, to lead up to this event, to this specific event. Like all the things that they showed and all the new things that we're getting out of this new season, like that's exactly how long you keep it offline, it feels like. So again, like I just feel like I don't know who's working the strings over there, who's managing all this like marketing stuff and like the content pipeline.
They're making great decisions,
but they are. Yeah,
I don't care about Fortnite, but I think who's ever controlling it, who's ever pulling the strings is
doing a good
smart.
job. Yeah, because I don't play it either. I think we're both non-players, and I personally was like pretty impressed by it. Okay, but realistically, how much longer do you think Fortnite can like keep this going? And actually, I have a question from the community, and we can wrap this up in the question I just asked. This comes from @PlaceboBlack. What do you guys think the lasting impact that Fortnite and PUBG will have on gaming culture? Everyone thought the Wii grew the market, but after that generation ended, the majority of those people went on to the next shiny thing, meaning they like left the gaming industry. Like, do you think Fortnite is gonna just keep this momentum going? Obviously not, right?
No, it's gonna slowly, kind of what's been happening. It's slowly gonna go down. They're gonna have to do something to trigger people to jump back into it. That's what they're gonna have to do. If they were smart, they would already be building like a Fortnite 2.0 for the next generation of consoles and get ready for computers. They need to do something big.
But you can't do that. You can't do a Fortnite 2.0 for new consoles because then it you lose so much of your base. So many of these kids play it on
that's a
mobile
good point.
phones and shit. So like, I don't know. I wonder if you can angle Fortnite to become like a Pokemon where it just goes on for fucking ever. Like I'm wondering if they can manage that.
I mean, they could, but how long are people going to be interested in for? What's going to have to happen, just like with our generation or my generation, and yours now too, because you're getting older. These kids have to get away from it for a while. They're going to grow out of it.
Yeah.
They're going to need to become nostalgic, and then it can come back.
Then come back. I mean,
that's what needs to happen. It might be a few years from now, but it's going to start to ebb and flow. Some other bigger fish in the sea is going to come and eat its lunch.
Yeah.
That's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of time.
That's what's like supposed to happen. But I don't know, man, because I played Pokemon I never put it down. The only time I'm like wanting to put it down is with this like new game because I'm just not crazy about it. But like I wonder if there's a way for Fortnite to pull that Pokemon off, like where these kids just kind of go through it and yeah, maybe there's some drop off obviously, but it stays like this big thing.
I don't think it's going to. No.
On Andre's question, like the majority of the people, like everyone thought like the Wii was this thing that like made the market bigger, but then like eventually those people left. Do you think like these kids are going to leave gaming completely, or do you think like these Fortnite gamers stay within the industry for good? Like, do you think they're next
half and half? Some of them will stay, some of them will go. It really depends, As kids get older, like, let's be honest. Mostly kids are playing these games. Mostly younger
100%.
People are playing these games,
Definitely.
for sure.
Definitely.
And as those people get older, they're going to get interested in other things. They're going to discover different things in the world, different things that they like, and their interest is going to ebb and flow. They may go in and out of games. They may not be interested in games forever. So it's really hard to say.
Yeah.
As far as it impacting games, it's nothing but positive because they got exposure to games that they like, which means they're more likely to get into something else later on. Yeah. Just because of that.
Jump into other shooters maybe, or just things that let them build and all that.
Right. The bug has been planted, and it may grow, into something bigger, and it may, it may die out for a while, but then it gets a little bit of water and it grows back again later on down the line, Do you think Fortnite's bigger than Minecraft? On a long scale, total scale. I think Minecraft will be way more relevant than Fortnite will in the long scale of things.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay. Cool.
I think Minecraft will be something that's around for a very, very long time.
Okay.
One iteration or another.
Give me how much longer Fortnite has of true relevance. Like it has right now.
I mean, again, it's something
that's
bigger
an
needs to come.
Question.
Something bigger needs to come, and I don't know what or when that's going to be.
Yeah,
it could be Minecraft. If Minecraft reinvents themselves some way, and like they release like Minecraft 2.0 or something, which Minecraft's still one of the biggest selling games constantly.
It's huge for sure. That's true. It's always on MPDs.
But it's never going to go away because there's always I see it constantly. There's always younger people that are interested in Minecraft.
Yeah, kids just pick up on it. Like young kids,
it's
that's
crazy,
like one of their
man.
first games.
It's
always.
like Legos.
It's
Legos are still around, man.
It's like digital Legos.
That's how I feel about it. Like it's always going to be around in some sort of
form.
form.
And Fortnite to you doesn't have that.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. I like it. That was interesting.
I think Fortnite's still going to be big for a while, though.
I think you're right. I think it's got like another year at least.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt, another year, if not a few more.
Yeah. That year of just like high.
Right.
It's just and even when it dips, it's still going to be there for a while too. So there's that too. All right. What do you think? Should we move on to next?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this is the I want to talk about the PS5, Matt, and what what Sony's been doing with the PS5 because I'm not happy about it. I don't know what's going on. I feel like they're messing up. They're bungling this build up and announcement of the PS5. You were saying before the podcast you think they're like announcing it too early or just announcing stuff too early.
I do.
I think they're building up unnecessary hype because they skipped E3 this year, and as far as we know, like PSX isn't happening. Like they're creating this long drought of PlayStation news, and the state of plays they've been doing in between haven't really been that huge at all. So I think they're building up like a hype that I don't know if they're going to be able to execute on. Past that, I feel like something's going on with Sony. 2 weeks ago, we talked about Sean Layden leaving. We still don't know if he was fired or quit or whatever what happened. There's been, rumored power struggles that we heard about. We talked about that 2 weeks ago as well from that gamingdaily.biz article. And then everything official that we do know about the PS5 has come from like these two very low key Wired exclusive articles where they like talk to Cerny. What's Cerny's first name?
Mark
Cerny, about like the PS5. And there hasn't been that much info regarding the PS5 that's come out so far. To go over like those 2 articles really quickly, like what we've gleaned from there, we've got the PS5 has a GPU that's going to support ray tracing. There's the possibility of a PSVR 2 coming out at some point. Sony has paid a lot of lip service to this specialized SSD drive that will dramatically increase load time, supposedly. And they mentioned haptic feedback controllers. And I don't know. I like where do you think we're at with the PS5? Are you happy with like how they're marketing this thing? Are you worried?
I'm not worried.
No?
No. I think it's necessary. I don't remember where I heard this from, but I heard somebody talking about it, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They want to get the boring stuff out of the way, so when it's showtime, it's just showtime.
Matt, are you fucking with me right now?
No.
I said that to you today. No. Okay. Matt, that's a really smart, impressive thing you said.
I know. I listen to smart people sometimes.
Thank you very much. No, I like that's what I was thinking too, though. Like it seemed like that might be the case.
I think they're trying to get the stupid stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
The problem is my problem. Matt's problem.
Okay. Give it to me.
What month is it?
It's October, Matt.
Of what year?
Of 2019.
And when is this coming out?
Holiday 2020.
A year from now.
Yeah, full year.
Why? Just shut up. Go away.
Yeah.
And shut up. You talked about Concrete Genie and stuff. That's great. You know what you did to Concrete Genie on the same day that Concrete Genie came out? What'd you do to it? You said PlayStation 5 is going to be called PlayStation 5. Shut the hell up. It was the same day that Concrete Genie came out. What a blunder. Like, talk about Concrete Genie. Don't worry about PlayStation 5. And the other problem with talking about PlayStation 5, like, obviously we all knew it was going to be called that. You don't need to have an announcement about
I don't know why they announced the name.
And you talked about the controller, great. Like, you could have done that whenever. You didn't need to do it the same day that Concrete
haptic controllers, like, Xbox has it too. So, like, I don't know why that's a big announcement. I just don't get, like, what are you telling me, Sony? Like, what am I supposed to...
This is the boring stuff that they're trying to get out of the way.
Okay.
It makes sense to do that.
Yeah.
This just isn't the right time. It's a year away. You don't need to talk about this now. You should have spent last week talking about Concrete Genie. That's what you should have spent your time talking about.
Or Death Stranding.
No, it was Concrete Genie's turn, and that studio, deserves a spot, in the limelight for a moment. It deserves its moment.
I heard that game wasn't very good though.
I heard it was pretty good actually.
Yeah. All right.
So maybe some mixed things, but still, people took the time to develop that game. And you basically slapped it in the goddamn face.
You're right.
So that's my only problem with it. Look, I love Sony. I'm gonna get a PS5. I just wish people would don't do stupid things, man. You don't need to have this conversation now. Why now?
So I'm thinking, like, to that point that you stole from me from the...
Steal it? I heard it from somebody.
It's written.
Somebody way more brilliant than you, Richard.
It's written in the notes right there.
The man I heard it from was way smarter than you. I don't remember who it was.
Boring or potentially negative info. I wrote it. Anyway, okay, go get a beer. I'll keep talking to you right now. So I'm thinking, like, as well as boring info out of the way, maybe they also want to get, like, negative info out of the way. So maybe in, like, a month or two... which would still be too early to do a full-on, reveal of PlayStation 5. Maybe in like a month or two, they're going to announce like the price, because the price is shitty. Like it's like a $600 price tag again. And that would kind of make sense, because then like, when they finally do announce, or leading up to the announcement and the full reveal of PlayStation 5, we already know, it's going to be $600. Like maybe do you think like they're being that smart with their strategy with this wired
Either way,
stuff?
I don't think they should talk about it now.
Okay.
And here's my other reason that I brought up earlier when we were talking. It's like Christmas season here now. You're basically telling people and cannibalizing your sales.
Don't get a PS4.
Why are you like what? Unless my PS4 breaks tomorrow, I'm not going and buying another PS4. There's no reason to, right? And if people who are looking at consoles, if they hear that a PlayStation 5 is coming, which I work at a game store, people come in and say that all the time to me. When's the PlayStation 5 coming? I heard it's coming. I heard it's coming.
Because they keep hearing about it.
That makes them extremely hesitant to buy a console now.
That's funny that you bring that up, because I wouldn't have suspected like casuals, the casual audience to like come into the game store and like know about the PlayStation 5. But like in the current day that we live in, this information does get around and we do pass it around.
Right. They don't know details.
Yeah, but they know.
They just heard it's coming.
They heard about the PS5.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why. Like, I
just get through Christmas.
Yeah,
For the
I don't
fucking
know.
Christ's sake, just wait till January. Shut up till January. That's all you had to do, Sony, was shut up till January.
It's weird.
Now, the only thing...
Yeah.
Somebody else had heard this from, very smart person, don't know who it was.
I swear to God, if this is another one of my points that I forgot to mention, I'd be very upset.
I really don't know who it was from.
Okay, go ahead.
They brought up the fact that the only reason Sony might be releasing this information to Wired is because that they found out, like a source came to them, and that they were going to leak this information if they didn't publicly reveal it ahead of time.
Okay, interesting.
That's the only reason I could give Sony any kind of credit for talking about this now.
I guess, but like we dealt with leaks for the PlayStation 4 and like the Xbox One, and it was fine. Like I don't know. Okay,
I wouldn't just shut up.
Maybe.
I love you, Sony, but you do dumb things. Sometimes.
Right. Anything else you want to talk about regarding PS5?
Not with PS5. I'm fine.
All right. That covers headlines. Matt, I want to move into today's discussion topic.
Okay.
Are file sizes for video games getting too big? Matt, I something triggered this for you. This is something you wanted to talk about. I want to know what it was that brought this on. Did something happen? Was there a game that you downloaded that was just too fucking huge?
No, I've been naturally... All right, so let me give you a little background.
Okay.
I have quite a few games on my hard drives, and I've upgraded hard drives, and my Xbox is getting full again. Yes, the term again.
Oh, yeah.
Full again.
How big is your hard drive on that bad boy?
I have a 5 terabyte external hard drive plus a terabyte inside of my console.
Wait, both of them are full?
Both.
Matt, you
This is my problem. Every time I download a game and they're like 80 plus gigs, I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
How can you not condense this file size down smaller? I mean, I'm not a developer. I don't understand these things. I just remember back in Xbox 360 days, Microsoft made it was a requirement that your game could not be over a certain size, and eventually they increased that size at some point, but it never got out of control. And I feel like this generation, everything's come undone. They're just like, do whatever you want, make whatever you want. I don't care. Make it 3,000 terabytes. Nobody cares.
I mean, it's an inevitability though, with like games getting more detailed, more, the audio quality gets better and better. More high resolution textures, cutscenes, all this stuff. More unique assets.
There should be a way to compress these, though.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I don't know technology.
I just
don't want it anymore. And here's my other problem with it. Here's a theory. Again, that I heard somebody else bring up, which I think is a very probable theory.
Go ahead.
These companies are doing it on purpose. Some of them.
Making the games bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Less games on your hard drive.
Okay.
You're more likely to play their game because their game is remaining on their hard drive. You got a 200 gigabyte Ubisoft Special Edition game on your hard drive.
Yeah.
You got a Division 2 slapped on there. That's eating up a huge chunk of your hard drive. That means there's less games on there for you to view, which means you have less choices to pick from.
That makes me want to get through the game faster, and so I can delete it though. I don't know.
It just makes me irritated because I don't want to delete my games because I have a whole problem with preservation because these fuckers are going to take the goddamn games that I paid for away from me. In some cases I didn't pay for them, but still, they're going to take them away from me one day.
For sure.
And I want them on my hard drive, just like with Telltale. When they went away, if you don't have it downloaded, guess what? You're fucked.
Well, let's be real. If they just turn off the license to the game, then you're done.
Not if it's already on my hard drive and I have it downloaded. I think I'm fine because I already paid for that. If I didn't have it downloaded and then I can't re-download it, which is what the case happened with the Telltale games, then I'm fucked. And I paid for the game.
NPT. Yeah, you're right. NPT's still on there. I don't know the legal things. I feel like if they wanted to really turn off a game, they could, but I don't know if they would. If there's any good reason to do it.
All these people who out there who if you give a shit about preservation, I'm telling you, all the games I have saved on my hard drive aren't going to be there forever. Yeah. And I'm aware of that. When these games get turned off and my hard drive one day dies, then they will be completely lost to time. Yeah. And that is fucked up.
Yeah.
It's for the digital-only games. Yeah, that's exactly. Why I try to collect physical games, because if my hard drive dies, I have the game. It's
complicated. What did I want to say specifically? So here's some hope for you, possibly, Matt. Let me give you some hope.
I just don't want them fucking me, Richard.
Speaking of that Wired article from October on the PlayStation 5, Sony might have some magic for you. Are you ready to hear about it?
Put it in my ears.
Okay, so that Wired article had Sony stating games up until now on hard disk drives, which is what we have right now, generally on consoles, have had developers often duplicating certain game assets in order to form contiguous data blocks, which the drive can read faster. The Wired article then went on to say that because that isn't a necessary practice for SSDs, which is what the new PlayStation will use, in theory, we could be getting smaller games because of less asset duplication.
I think that's great news, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, SSDs have been out for like ever.
Yeah.
Like they've been out for a really long time. Do you think that maybe because like the PS4 is or PS5 is going to be using it as a standard and possibly the Xbox is going to be using it as a standard, that maybe developers will start developing games with SSDs in mind?
They'll just start shoving other shit in there to fill up the hard drive space. That's
do you really buy this theory that they're like making games bigger on purpose?
I feel like some of them might be. I won't name names. I just feel like some of them might be.
I don't think
you can imagine who.
I don't think. No, I don't buy this. I guess I don't buy that. Like what I do buy is that developers might be a little bit more incompetent, or just not lazy, but like are just, you know, because of crunch and because they only have so much time to get games done in the allotted time that they need to get it done by, that they're just being really inefficient with how they like code games, and maybe that's why they're as big as they are.
Is that these companies are designing games that you want to spend all your time there for a reason. And that reason,
a lot of those games,
money.
A lot of those games that they want you to spend all your time in aren't even that big. Fortnite's not even that big, like of a file ultimately, and neither is like Apex. It's like 20 gigs, I think, Apex, or something like that.
Yeah, because they're like one map.
But to your point that like they need a big file to keep you playing that game, I don't know. I just don't buy it.
That's my defense.
Now, so, you know, SSDs probably sound like a pipe dream. Isn't the inevitable answer here Stadia or something like Stadia? Because that way you don't have to have storage anymore. You're just, you know, streaming your game. Isn't that like the true way to
me wanting to make sure things are preserved? I'm not interested.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't line up with that.
Bye.
I guess that's fair.
Next.
All right. That covers pretty much everything in terms of like discussion topics.
This covers the news.
We still have another segment before we close out, though.
We got to do some rediscovering retro.
That's right, rediscovering retro. What did we play this week, Matt?
Shinobi 3 on the Sega Genesis.
Yes, Matt.
Yes,
I had so much fun today playing this game.
It was an awesome game.
Dude, it's so gorgeous. So I played this game back when I was a kid at my cousin's all the time. I'd
never played the game before.
Going back, like the sprite work is phenomenal. The main character's artwork just looks amazing. He has like the red with he has like a grayish white with like red trim on his clothes. Looks super cool. The music was incredible.
Music was fantastic.
Super, super fun. The areas were just the level of detail on the Sega Genesis game was out of control. What did you like about it? Anything that like really stood out to you?
The music was the biggest thing. It has a great soundtrack. Really takes advantage of that bassy Sega Genesis sound.
Yeah.
For you guys who want us to play other stuff, I know we pretty much only been doing Sega Genesis games up to this point. We are going to branch out and do other things, but next week, just so you guys know, Kid Chameleon is coming.
It's happening,
and then we'll move on to other things.
It's confirmed.
But I know I liked. I thought the graphics looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
The artwork is spectacular.
It really is.
They did a really good job.
And not just like the sprites, but like when they do little shots, like close-ups of like characters and stuff, like the way they that looks phenomenal as well. Whenever you like finish a round or a mission and you kill the boss,
the boss designs are cool.
They really are, dude. Like they have like that Tetsuo from like Akira looking monster at the end of the third level or second level. But anytime you like beat a boss and like end the level, it gives you like a little black and white like screenshot almost,
like a final blow,
blow looking like artistic representation of you versus that boss, which looks super fucking sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, presentation wise, it's phenomenal. What I did want to talk about with Shinobi though was like the difficulty and like the gameplay, because I remember this game being really hard growing up, and when we played it today, granted we only played I think the first 3 levels, and we didn't finish that like third boss, but I felt like we were getting pretty close. But I felt like that difficulty was very fair.
Yeah, I thought it was really fair, especially for a game of that time. Like, because there was games that would just beat your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Like even when we hit continue, like we started from the boss instead of like all the way from the beginning of the level, which was great. But I hear a lot of people, like whenever like someone plays like a hard game or whatever, they reference like Dark Souls, or like this is like the Dark Souls of whatever game.
Yeah, it's getting kind of annoying.
Which is definitely annoying. But I feel like if this game came out today and someone played it, like, oh, this is so, like, they would say it's so inspired by Dark Souls. But really, it's Dark Souls is inspired by clearly these kind of games that like have you learn a level, make you learn the level, and then you progress once you have learned the level. Like that's to me Dark Souls in like a nutshell. And it bums me out that what people take from Dark Souls isn't that aspect of learn the game, present a challenge, learn the game, and then progress. What they take from Dark Souls is third-person combat with swords and a shield, and you just go through, corridors and fight enemies. Like every Dark Souls is exactly the same to me. Code Vein looks the same as Dark Souls, so does Neo, so does The Surge. And I would love to see more games just take not the literal design of Dark Souls, but the, I guess, metaphorical design of Dark Souls and apply that to like new games and stuff. Because I think.
So what you're saying is like have a fair challenge, but not be the same thing.
Not be the same exact kind of game.
Right.
God of War didn't need to be as Dark Soulsy as it was, in my opinion.
There were some hard point, like I forget what difficulty I was playing on, but there were some really tough spots in
sure.
God of War.
For sure.
Like those, what the hell were those things called? I'm gonna say Valerian, but that's not Valkyries. The
Valkyries are
some
like
of those
the super bosses.
Ooh, doctor.
Some of those are straight up super bosses. But I just wish, the difficulty that they went with was, or that any game goes with, is just less like make a Dark Souls boss and make a Dark Souls character that you control and have them fight each other, and focus on rolling, focus on blocking, whatever it is. And they just did something a little bit different. That's what I got from playing Shinobi 3 today. And I don't know. I hope we see more of that.
Yeah, man.
I hope we see a resurgence of that, I should say.
Yeah, I would love to see a new Shinobi, and I would even more love to see a new Ninja Gaiden.
Man, like Shinobi 2 on the freaking PS2, like, makes me think of a hard game that, like,
I'm gonna have to get that. We're gonna have to play it.
I really want to go back and try it out.
I don't have that one. I need to get that.
We should try and track that one down, try that out.
We can check it out.
All right. Anything else you want to say about Shinobi 3?
No. Definitely check it out if you have a Genesis. Worthwhile. It's on the Genesis Mini also, if you'd like to pick up one of those.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Which we might crack open next week.
Yes, that's right. Maybe talk about it.
Maybe.
All right, Matt, we got some questions from the community.
Let's do it.
We have a community.
We do.
Yeah.
They can find us at Nerdthusiast on Twitter.
That's right, and send us questions. So we got a few. Do you want to like go back and forth between these? How do you want to do this?
Yeah, go for it. You can take the first one.
I'll take the first one. The first one is from @Rick'emRobo. Since we're deep in the mist of October, are video games the most effective way to scare yourself? In particular, VR. Tried out Resident Evil 7 VR, a game I had already experienced on a TV, and I couldn't even bring myself to finish.
Same.
Yeah, I think an interactive experience is the scariest freaking way to like get yourself amped.
Right. I think it's truly hard to scare me at this point. But
because
VR can do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, VR is like a completely another level. I think anytime like you're more immersed in a frightening experience, that's gonna you're gonna be more inclined to be scared. And I really think like video games to a degree have kind of like messed up scary movies for me, because once I went through like Resident Evil 7 or whatever it is, like a scary movie, whatever, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, I played horror games before. It's not my favorite genre. I do like them, but I definitely wanted to play Resident Evil 7 in VR, and I had a very similar experience. It was like my sessions were only about 45 minutes because I felt like I was having a goddamn heart attack.
When you were playing on VR?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised you went that long.
After 45 minutes, no matter where I was at in the game, I just had to get to a save point and turn it off. I physically couldn't take it anymore. But I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
But nothing could ever scare me like that,
Dude,
today.
I was talking to this girl at work, and she was talking to me about how she loves scary movies. And I was like, oh, I love scary movies too. Like I love watching them during October. And I told her like I also love playing like scary games. And she was like, there's scary games? And she wasn't even aware. There's like a whole group of people who love being spooked out by things. I have no idea what kind of spooks they're missing out on with video games. Isn't that crazy?
There's plenty of good, especially in VR. There's Here They Lie. There's Home Sweet Home. There's a ton of VR horror games.
Yeah, I haven't fucked with any of that because I don't know if I can handle it.
When we get a camera, with the strap a headset onto you.
Yeah, we can do some videos. I'd be super down. All right, you want to take the next question?
Sure. At JHunterPierce asks us to give our thoughts on a tweet from Beaten Down Brian concerning Death Stranding releasing early to influencers. This just happened today. Influencers started announcing that they have the game and they're playing it.
Yeah, I didn't know about
really
this.
Give out any details.
I did not know about this until this was brought to my attention today.
So this Beaten Down Brian wrote, "Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of early embargoes for games, but in case of Death Stranding, it's somewhat frustrating that we are going to be in a full week of articles, podcasts, discussions before any of us get the opportunity to have our hands on it."
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't know about this until today. I mean, it happened today, but I didn't know about this until like right before we started this podcast.
Yeah, I knew since this morning because I saw some people tweeting about it.
So, to answer beating down Brian's like issue, it's a bummer. I think it's annoying. It's definitely annoying because it's so early from like the game's release. It feels like it's like a full month.
It is pretty
almost.
Early. No, it comes out on the 8th, so it's only a couple weeks away.
Okay, but yeah, for sure. But like, just like to have to worry about spoilers is always annoying, and this game seems like it's very much a new experience.
If you're an influencer or a podcaster and you're spoiling this, you're an asshole.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just plain and simple. Like, come on now. People were anticipating this game. You know how Kojima fans are. Like,
and not even like spoiling
sitting across from one. I know exactly how they are.
And not even spoiling it, just talking about it. I don't know. It just feels weird to have it out there. And then the thing that you brought up, which is super irritating.
This is what bothers me.
Is that like this is supposed to be a shared experience and we're supposed to go in there day one together, everybody. And when you go in there day one, it's supposed to be completely empty and we're all supposed to have a completely different experience than people who come in like months later.
Right.
That's fucking gone because
people who come in later are supposed to have a landscape that's
completely
been modified from the people
exactly.
who came before, so we're not all getting a fair shake at it.
Exactly. And now that I'm coming on day one, I'm not even going to have like that fresh experience because people have already been in the game.
Right.
Like,
are there already going to be ladders set up for you to cross different
what
areas?
What the fuck is that? Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's kind of gross. I think that unless they like reset the servers, like
they could reset the servers. I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
I didn't until right now. But like if they do that, then I guess it's fine. But that's the thing that worries me most about it.
That's the only problem I have with it. As long as these other people shut up, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I can go media blackout if I need to, And I don't. The people I follow on Twitter or whoever, like
the people who I follow aren't going to say shit.
They generally, are not that kind of people.
They're not one of them dumb kids. Don't follow them dumb kids.
All right. Next question comes from Bernardo Delcast at Bernardo Delcast. What is your most embarrassing gaming related moment, Matt?
My most embarrassing gaming moment was losing week 1 to Richard in Super Hyper Turbo HD Challenge in Mortal Kombat 3. That was my most embarrassing moment because he spammed the goddamn same move over and over again. I kept trying to learn moves and play like a normal person would. Mm-hmm. But clearly, Richard was just going to cheat.
You were still sour about that.
Never forget.
My most embarrassing gaming related moment, Matt, I didn't think of one before this podcast started. So I might have to come back to this. I really fucked up. I'll try and come back to this. Shit. All right. You want to take the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
The Platinum GRA? Platinum GRA?
The Platinum GRA 1.
What is your most treasured Platinum trophy or achievement?
Do you have one, Matt?
I do.
Do you do? Okay.
I do.
What do you got?
I'd have to go through my achievement log because I might have a better achievement.
Okay,
but off the top of my head,
sure.
I have the Platinum in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which took forever.
That's a huge game.
Yeah.
And I imagine they expect you to look at a lot of that huge game.
Yeah, I think most people that I heard took them about 120 hours to get the Platinum, but as I mentioned to everybody before, I play video games pretty slow. I take my time. It took me 140 hours to get that Platinum.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't like playing long.
About right.
I just want everybody to know I do not like playing long games.
Man,
it's not my thing.
I need to finish Origins so I can play Odyssey.
Odyssey is so good.
I love that game so much.
It's like cocaine.
I'm glad that you know. I'm glad you have that firsthand experience.
I do not.
Mine would have to be Little Big Planet 1. I got the platinum for that game, which I don't know if you know this, but to get the platinum on that game, not only do you have to like beat every level without dying, which is pretty difficult. You also have to get like every item in the game, like every, pickup. And you have to make a level that is good enough to warrant like 50 likes.
Oh.
And I did that by making a Shadow of the Colossus level on Little Big Planet.
Oh, wow.
That I'm to this day, I'm very proud of.
I'd be proud of that too, because you had to be creative to get that platinum.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and not only that, like I'm proud of that level because I just think it's like a lovely level. I think you can still find it because it's on Little Big Planet 3.
That's awesome,
they transfer over. But yeah, that bad boy got me a whole lot of likes. At one point, there was a YouTube video of some British dude going through my level with like 1,000 views on it.
That's friggin' sweet.
Which I just thought was cool because I found it like years later. I was
that's
like,
friggin' gnarly, man. I like that shit.
So I think that's my like proudest platinum that I have, just because like what I put into it and like what I got out of it by doing it. So that's pretty cool. I have the next question, right? Mm-hmm. All right, my most embarrassing gaming related moment. I can't think of any good ones, but no, that one's not even like that embarrassing. I died in the ring on Apex Legends. No,
I don't know what that means.
It doesn't matter. I can't think of. I don't know. Bernardo, dude, I'm embarrassed every day. Just
being Richard
and looking at my life and where I'm at, age 28. Okay.
At least you still have hair, you motherfucker.
Oh, I got it. My most embarrassing gaming related moment was when I was trying to learn a raid on Final Fantasy 14. It was one of the Savage raids, and I was with a group of new people that I've never talked to on Skype. Not on Skype, on Discord. And just bear with me, Matt. And I had never ever met these people. I knew like one or two of them like personally, and we were trying like a raid in Savage Raid is just a very difficult boss fight, Matt, that you have to like coordinate with like 8 other people to successfully complete. Okay, so we're all on mic, we're all trying to figure it out, and at one point, this is good. At one point, my door opens, and my mom, in her very shrill Romanian accent voice, goes, "Richard, did you want to have any tomatoes with us?" I don't know if it was tomatoes, but it was something like that. But it was just like my mom's voice is very loud.
That's a good one.
And I just freeze because I don't know. It's my first time using Discord, and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't even know how to whatever. This is happening." And I'm like, "No, I'm okay." And she just keeps talking. She's like, "Oh well, it's going to be ready, so whenever you want to come out." I'm like, "Okay, all right, thank you, Ma. Thank you, I appreciate it." And she walks out, and one of the guys goes, "Don't worry, bro. My wife's like that too." And I just hear my friend go, and I go, "That was my mom." And
that is awesome.
Yeah, that's my most embarrassing.
That's a really good one.
So I had a good one.
I wish I had something
I'm
better.
glad that I brought it out. I'm glad I found it. All right, last question from Beardless2 at Beardless2. What's the hardest game ever made, and why is it capitalism? This is a jokey question.
It is.
This is a joke. Beardless2's making...
I'm going to give him a real answer.
Okay.
You're doing life wrong.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Capitalism isn't that hard.
No.
I agree.
Look at these CEOs. They're just narcissists. That's all you... Just become a narcissist, take advantage of everyone around you, and fuck everyone over.
You don't know
This is how it works. It's America.
At Beardless2, you don't know how to play capitalism.
Fuck the free.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Matt. I think the game of capitalism is hard if you play it wrong, and if you don't grind. If you grind enough and get enough money, capitalism's super easy. Like once you have a lot.
If you don't want to do that, you just drink a little bit more, and it goes away.
And you don't have to play the game. You can always not play the game.
Very true.
So there's our stupid answer to your stupid question at Beardless.
That was a great question provided by fucking very thoughtful and, amazing answers.
I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
You're actually welcome.
I apologize. I was coming on too strong. All right. That pretty much closes up the podcast, Matt. I think we're making okay time.
No. You're missing something.
We have
there's a dual action hyper turbo HD challenge that happened today.
Can you give it a more of a this is a legendary challenge, Matt.
This is huge. We played a legendary map from a legendary game. We played Blood Gulch.
But I'm just okay. What game did we play?
Halo
Combat Evolved We played a deathmatch.
We did.
Slayer. First to 10 kills. Blood Gulch. Vehicles were on. What
they
happened?
were on.
They were on. and
Otherwise, Richard wouldn't have got the kill.
I think I got one. I think I got one without using a tank. I didn't do so well in this challenge, Matt.
What was it, like 10 to 7?
It was 10 to 7,
6,
but
like
10 to 7,
10
but
to 7?
like nearly every kill I got was through cheaply using the Scorpion.
Oh yeah, he was in the tanks them all day. Scorpion, is that what it's called? That's the proper term.
Yeah, that's a proper term.
Scorpion.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I could not
I started out strong.
Yeah, you were shotgunning me like immediately. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Well, I did say last week, shoddy snipes, and not only did I use the shoddy, I did use the snipes.
Did you get me with the snipes at all? Yeah.
Once or twice.
Dude, that was miserable.
I love my shoddy snipes.
I fucking hated that challenge, and I thought I was going to have a great time.
I thought you were too. I was really worried.
I feel so stupid.
And then, not only that, just so you all know, Richard tried to say that I must have practiced, but I popped the achievement for like it being the first time that I played the game, So he fucking knew that it was the first time I played the fucking game,
I was like,
which
this is
made the win even better.
Yeah, this is the first time you played the game, and the achievement comes up. First time completing a multiplayer match, or playing anything, any mission or multiplayer.
The first time doing
the
anything
journey
in the
begins. Game. Yeah. That was disappointing. Current score: Matt 2, Richard 1. Fuck, we didn't decide on what we're gonna play next week.
Yeah, we not only do that, we need to figure out what the stakes are. We never figured that out either.
We're gonna figure it out. The stakes are gonna be fucking brutal.
Yeah, expect us to figure it out.
Yeah,
at some
Matt's
point.
gonna wear a tutu or something.
No, Richard will.
No, at this rate, yeah, possibly. All right. The game for next week will be.
Wait, you picked this one.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna do a clever cut. Watch, everybody, watch. This is how magic happens. The game for next week will be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Wii U. Oh, do you want to do it together?
Switch.
Oh, for
you
Switch?
said Wii U.
Oh, I thought it was for Wii U.
No, Deluxe is on Switch,
all right, I'm
man.
sorry. Whatever. Anyways,
I mean, my Wii U's hooked up if you want to go Wii U. I have the Wii U version, but I'm just saying.
Okay, Switch is easier.
You got everything.
Yeah,
I got everything on the Deluxe version.
Switch. We'll figure out the details of what map or whatever the fuck when we figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that.
We came to an agreement.
When we did it so fast. Let's see here. What else we got, Matt? Closing. We got to close it out.
Yep.
Matt, where can people find us?
They can find me on Twitter at FromNJ2CA. That's from NJ2CA.
Yes. You can find me at Richard Eiley, RichardIlie at Twitter or on Twitter. And then you can follow the Nerdthusiast account on Twitter as well, at Nerdthusiast, NERDTHUSIAST. I think I spelled that wrong. Doesn't matter. Nerdthusiast at Twitter. Find us there. Next week, we're back with Star Wars and other B-sides. We're continuing our rewatch of the series, Rogue One and Solo. We're going to talk about them.
Indeed.
That's going to be great. And then we're everywhere.
We're on Apple Podcasts,
Yes.
YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, Pocket Casts,
Yes.
and maybe other places too. I don't know.
Possibly.
We're all over the place.
But we're continuing
Just
to expand.
search for Nerdthusiast.
Share us with your friends. Get us out there. We would love it. It would mean so much to us.
Like us, give us 5-star reviews.
We need that too. We need
exposure.
We need exposure. We need engagement. Comment on the videos wherever you find them.
Leave us questions when we solicit them.
Exactly. Or leave us questions whenever. Shoot us questions.
You can ask me a question.
We'll look at them.
Maybe I'll answer it.
Yeah. Matt will answer it. Matt, you'll answer it.
Maybe I'll answer it.
That's it though. You guys, thank you so much for listening. Means a lot for both of us. And Matt, what's your sign off?
Au revoir, Pee-wee.
I like that. Okay, bye guys. Take care. I think that was good. I think that was a really good one.
Did I just keep